Have you used a public restroom lately? Well, according to recent research, hot air hand dryers are basically the last place you want to put your hands. This is why I always bring my own paper towels into the bathroom here at work.
Do you really?
Yes.
Wow, I just learned something new about you.
It's actually mostly because of the noise, the excruciating, ear-splitting noise of a screaming hand dryer. I have strong feelings about this, clearly. Well, anyway, this comes from a new study published in Applied and Environmental Microbiology. It says the jets from hot air dryers are pulling in bacteria from the bathroom air and blowing it out again all over your hands. For this study, researchers used hot air dryers on a variety of petri dishes with no hands involved. Some sat undisturbed for 2 minutes beneath an inactive hand dryer, and others were directly exposed to 30 seconds of the hot air. The ones that had sat in peace grew a maximum of 1 colony of bacteria, but those exposed to a blast from the hand dryer, most grew about 18 to 60 colonies, and some had as many as 254. The researchers were able to cut down on colonies by about 75% when they installed HEPA filters, or high-energy particulate air filters. Anyway, the science is kind of obvious when you think about it. That air in the dryer has to come from somewhere, and bathroom air is, well, gross. Toilets with no lid have been known to spread bacteria over a 65 square foot area, which is why I always close the toilet lid before I flush at home. This is true.
I'm learning so much about you.
But at least the experiment with the filters showed that the bacterial colonies aren't spreading inside the dryers themselves. Now, to be clear, you should use a hand dryer if it's your only option, since it's a lot easier for bacteria to survive on wet hands, so you do at least want them dry. And also, most of the bacteria the team discovered on the dishes were either harmless or benign for healthy people. And finally, their experiment was carried out in a scientific research facility where many other people were working with bacteria on a daily basis. So a lot of the bacteria tracked in this study came from a scientist's lab, not the bathroom. Still, though, paper towels rank the best for both maximum dryness and maximum bacteria reduction. And as far as eco-friendliness goes, they're about even with traditional hand dryers. As for me, I am happy to wash my hands of my association with air dryers.
You probably know that you've got a heart, a liver, a stomach, and a brain. You might even know the names of most of your bones and muscles. But the human body is really complex, so we've come up with a list of a few important body parts that you might not even know you have. So let's start with your mesentery. This is basically the seatbelt for your guts. Your skin, bones, and muscles hold your organs in, but the mesentery is what holds them up. We used to think this organ was just a collection of membranes, but now we know it's one continuous structure. Next up is another important one, your thymus. This is basically your immunity factory. Your thymus is a small organ located beneath your breastbone, and while you may not have heard of it, it plays a pivotal role in keeping you healthy. It's part of both the lymphatic system, which transports immune cells throughout your body, and the endocrine system, which deals with the chemical messengers known as hormones. The thymus is the source of T cells. In fact, the T stands for thymus. T cells are a type of white blood cell that regulates your immunity and hunts down any illness-causing invaders. And one more body part you might not know you have is the lacrimal puncta. That's the fancy name for your teardrop holes. You have 4 tiny holes on the inside of your eyelids, one at the inner corner of each upper and lower eyelid, and they release tears to keep your eyes moist. You can even see the lacrimal puncta if you want to. Just gently push up on the lower corner of your eye to see the inner edge of the eyelid, and it'll be there. We wrote about a few other body parts we don't have time to get into right now on our full write-up on Saturday. Isn't the body fun?
There are a lot of infographics and blog posts that talk about the psychological associations of various colors out there. That helps people and brands pick the perfect palette for their product, logo, or living room wall. These posts are entertaining, but there's one serious problem. What colors mean varies wildly from culture to culture. Why does this matter? Well, legend has it that Pepsi sales in Southeast Asia dropped in the 1950s after it changed the color of its coolers from dark to ice blue, which is associated with death in some parts of the region.